This is all stuff you can see for yourself. It just requires a little critical thinking and thinking for yourself. That's the ultimate skill. That's better than any weapon, anything, any computer, anything. Think for yourself and you'll see. I ain't do nothing to this map. I'm just pointing out what I see. And so if you don't see it, okay, that's fine. But again, to me, those like the little fishes crawling up under this fish, trying to survive. Now again, we know those are mountains. Look at the topography. This is over 3,000 feet right here. The lower part is lower, 2,000. So they mining all through here. This is where the money is at in mining. And so I kept going because again, this is a lot of stuff, and I had to know. So as I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Maybe a dragon or a lizard. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Maybe a different video. And so again, looking at that, and got me thinking. So I followed it on down here. This rift is real notable here. You can see that something intentionally did that. Did Google Earth put that on there? No, that's probably actually there. You can see it. Look. That almost looks like a J. You could tell something came along here. It, in my opinion, almost intentionally missed that and came down through here. So keep that in mind. Because I started looking at this, like, what is this mountain range right here? What is that? I looked all the way down here. And then for me, I didn't even go that far all the way over there yet. Because this, again, might take you months or years to wrap your head around. But for me, looking at it like this, it just jumped out at me. I didn't have to do anything, change no colors on nothing. For me, you can see it. That looks like a horse. Look at that. That's his mouth right there. Goes a huge, gigantic horse. I'm mind blown. I'm telling you. Look at that. That is undeniable. The tail. And again, me being me, I figured because I've read enough books, dude. This is stuff. Hate to even tell you this, and I'm not throwing no shade on nobody. I probably read more books than the most of you, no doubt about it. And you can only go so far with that too. You got to be able to think for yourself. And so, using what you know get you where you want to go. And so for me, it just jumped right off the page. I didn't have to do anything. That's a whole real huge horse for me. Then I thought, well, the name should line up. And again, if y'all don't believe me, we'll do definitions and comparisons and analyses of these names in another video. But for me, I mean, it's kind of just jumping off the page, dude. That's definitely his main back right here. tail. Bogota probably got something to do with butthole. Caracas sounds a lot like carcass. I mean, I don't know. I zoomed in and looked at a lot of these names, so this is how I know, but you do your own research. So that shows you the ancient people knew. And we could prove it just using, we ain't got to, again, dig through no thousands of books to figure this out. Critical thinking, couple clues. So yeah, mind blown on that, dude. Yeah. Yeah, so it didn't take much to convince me of that. As far as I know, I'm the first one that's seen this, so figure this out. I got another one, some more. Again, we're gonna have to make more videos. It's getting too long as it is. But I'm gonna just show you how deep it goes. It's a giant. You can fucking see that from space. So they know that. They know it. So they got me wondering, well, then what the hell is our continent then? What is that we living on? If that's a big ass horse, then what is this that we living on? And again, I zoomed out about like that, and you can see it, dude. What in the world is that? That looks like a giant bull or something. I can't make this stuff up. Look at it. That's the head right there. And that's the back. That's the tail. Now all of those creatures are on top of it. So obviously this thing was down here before all of those creatures. But we're gonna come to that. So again, it didn't take much. It's not a big stretch to see that, is it? Come on, guys. Kind of the shape of a head. That's the horn, and that's the tail of the other thing. The other horn is underwater. It is huge. I mean, you can't wrap your mind around it. Sorry. I'm here to help you. Speed y'all along so we can get this thing going. Okay, a huge bull. Look at that. Feet, anus region right here. Like I said, that's the tail and the back. You see 2 feet. This is of another foot. It's laying there in the shallow water. It's deep water to us, but it's shallow to him. Look at him. So again, I ain't even go all the way over there yet. Not yet in this video, but you can see this whole rift thing right here. That seems to be artificial. I hate to be the bearer of bad news and bust y'all paradigms. Some giant creature put that there, obviously to protect the land. And like I said, this is the tail of that thing. huge that thing is. I ain't gotta draw no lines or do nothing, dude. You guys see that? You see it. So it's on a like a shelf, both of them. That horse. The water's deeper out here, of course, around it. But right up in here is much more shallow. And, this shows you how long it's been here and how much they mined it out. They most likely mined out all of that. And of course, the waters and, But that's probably how broke down the outside barrier as people living there mining. But that's thousands of years ago. For me, you can see that horse hiney. It's the highest part, the densest part, the richest part. I ain't even gonna zoom in on it for y'all can see that no more. You do your own work on that. Let's keep it moving. So like I say, a huge bull. And then that brought me back to this thing, this big gash right here. And I'm like, damn, that is intentional. Look at those lines. You could tell those are too straight and line up too well. Nothing in nature is going to make a natural J like that. We all know that. I mean, it's possible, but again, anything's possible. Let's be for real. So, and you could also tell, and this is how you know they got to know this. Any forensic scientist could tell you that that's a kind of a dull, blunt like axe. I hate to tell you, maybe Paul Bunyan did that. It's funny, but it's not funny. And so, looking at it again, it almost looks like something really huge. It looks like something really huge took something. The head of the thing was right here. It probably chopped its head on off to make it less recognizable because laying there with his head, you could probably still see it. So it knew we was going to be looking one day. Whoever cut that out of there didn't want us to figure it out that easy. So they most likely mined all of that out long, long ago. Never got to this part. Or whatever works they were doing up in here is what caused the water to run in and not run out. So you could plainly see. For me, that one's easy. Again, this video is getting too long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And so you see the layers for me of different cataclysm catastrophes. We're just going to stay right here for the moment and examine first again, like I started out with the dragon. So again, these layers are below sea level down here. We all know Louisiana below sea level. It ain't just a fluke of nature. They mined it all out. All of it. And so that lets you know that that thing has been sitting there for longer than these creatures. Because these tops is probably still the tippy top part of this animal that's laying there. So they digging into these almost pile of animals right here. And that's what they're mining. So we still on the surface, really. We still digging through. So right here, they did it long, long before that. They mined it out long, long before that. And so you can see that was whatever killed that thing. It had been laying there And again, I was trying to figure out what all these things were. And you could plainly see that it's evidence of another catastrophe. I can't say the Great Flood, but it looked like a great flood because it's zoomed out. I'm not going too far. You see all of that. It looks like something out there smashed the water up onto the land. Douche. All of this water, all of that. It probably ran all the way over the land. And as it receded, douche, it took this trail and washed out everything. All of these animals this land here did, it washed them out till about this point. Some of them were already dead. Some of them died right here. They couldn't get over that ledge. The water probably receded back into here somewhere where it's deeper at. And all of this was newly exposed. And those animals couldn't get these surface animals. I'm not talking about the big ones below. They had been dead. Those are the animals the Most High laid down here so we can live upon. So they've been here. So these ones on top, again, for me, is evidence of a catastrophe that washed the water onto the land. And you can see this basin right here. This is a huge basin. And it ran out into here. And those animals stranded here to die right up in here. Still don't know what that is. Still ain't, we not going there yet. So, and again, look at all of those little white dots. Those cities, they was all already there. It killed all of those people for sure. Again, for me, it looks as if it washed over the whole land and it receded going that way almost. It ran out this way. Off in here, this was probably a huge lake and something caused it to run out. And again, you could just see that debunk me, whatever. And so that got me thinking, look at all of these. This absolutely lines up with this thing. This what is it, Lower California, whatever you want to call it. Gulf Coast, Baja, California. And so, you know, how they say, well, let me say that for another video. Well, no, I'm going to tell you because this is all in that same cataclysm. Whatever washed all the water over the land that way, looks as if it broke away from here somewhere. That piece of land broke away from here and scrubbed straight across here. Or it could have broke from here, but you see those lines behind it. Now, these lines ain't just here. They could have grafted them out, but you see them. I didn't put them there. So that's how California used to be an island. This is probably that part. This part, because you can see how it just scrubs the land all the way over to here. It almost looked like it took some time. It happened over a process of time. Or it could have happened all at once, but we know that it was an island once off this coast due to the old maps. So I think maybe it pushed it over this way, and that was it. Probably was bigger then, and that was California. And within that span of 50, 100, 150 years, it it floated on over to here. It pushed its way on over to here, and that's it right there. And this part was probably already there or underwater. But you can see it scrubbed the land. And for me, that was all one cataclysm. Whatever caused the water to wash up here and drown out everybody and kill all those fish, that's what it was that pushed this thing over here too. So for me, that's 100% proof. The earth is not what we've been told it was. Look at that big creature right there. That is huge. Look at that horse right there. You can't deny that. So let me know.